Let's talk about the other type of way you can come to Canada. You can come to Canada through a work permit, and this is not your regular type of visa. And you have to, apply for a job, and the employer has to see that you are fit to do that particular job, and they will give you a job offer before you can now apply to come to Canada. Sorry. So there are two types of work permits: the open work permit and the closed work permit. So the open work permit will only allow you to work for just one employer, and you have to, come and work with their rules and regulations, the duration of that employment. Okay. And then for the closed work permit, this is the one that allows your dependents. So if you have any dependent, your husband, your wife, or your child that are of age to work, they can work with an open work permit. Because you are the main applicant, you are not allowed to work with an open work permit. Because why? The employer has specifically given you a job offer that you can come to Canada and work for them specifically. Now your dependents have to, look for job elsewhere because they don't have that work permit that you have. They can now look for job elsewhere and support, your family. So for you to have a job in Canada, you have to go to, look on the website. You look for the type of job that you feel you can do, like it's a specific type of job, and they all have NOC. So NOC is the number that is assigned to a particular job, that it's easier for the immigration to keep record or keep track of, to show that this number is assigned to this particular type of job. Right? Yeah. So that is how they track it, and that number is also what can also put, like you put in your application, this NOC is what I'm applying for and all whatnot, right? So when you go to the website of an organization, for example, you want to apply, say McDonald's, you go to McDonald's website, you click on the job or the career option, and you apply for a job. McDonald's now sees your application. Okay, this person can come in and work for us because of their specialized skills, right? Because for an employer to employ you in Canada, they must have searched within the territory to see that no one else can fit that particular position, and that's why they are extending it to the foreign workers. And then the employer also have to apply for an LMIA. So that is the labor market impact assessment that will allow the employer to get in foreign workers. They have to apply this, do this application through Service Canada. Okay, they have a way of doing it, and they will get a number and all that. This helps them to file for your tax and to show that this person came in under this type of visa, right? So yeah, once you're able to get a job, like I was saying, say McDonald's, you got a job in McDonald's have to send you a job offer to say that we want this person to come in because they have this special skill. We want him or her to come and work for us, and we have searched within the region and we don't find anybody. That is why we are extending it to the foreign worker. So Service Canada will look at it and assess it to see that this person really is able to do the job, right? They will check all your work experience and also ask the employer if they have done their due diligence. They sometimes call the employer to ask them all these questions. That is not for you to worry about. Yours is just to apply. And once McDonald's say, I'm using McDonald's as an example, that doesn't mean that McDonald's are employing foreign workers. It's just an example, okay? So Service Canada and the employer will deal with all those documentation. Yours, what you need is the job offer, the documentation showing that the employer has applied to Service Canada, which is the LMIA. The employer will give you a copy of the LMIA, your job offer, and then you can go and apply to the embassy with this documentation to, come and work in Canada. Those are the things that you will be needing, and of course your work experience showing that you have accumulated this number of years of experience, and that's why you're applying for the job. So you need all those documentation and apply. Then you can come to Canada and work and live. So let's say, for example, after the number of years, the employer has to specify, when they are applying for their LMIA, to say that this is the number of year that, or number of months, or whatever time you're going to be. So the duration of time you are working for them, they have to specify it. And when that time comes, the employer finds that you have done your own part of the job, like you're doing a good job, they can extend it. It's possible for extension. They can extend that your work permit. And this also all applies to students. So some students come in, they are schooling, and their spouse is using an open work permit to work, right? So just to support that family. All right, I'll see you in my next video. We'll talk about more ways you can come to Canada. Peace out.